Ed and Lorraine Warren were American paranormal investigators. They worked on some of the most chilling paranormal cases in our time and have had some of their exploits even turned into movies. These people were basically ghost-busting rock stars and dealt with everything haunted, demonic, and scary. Through all of these extensive experiences, they have managed to capture some pretty chilling stuff on recording. Number 5 on this list is the recording of an exorcism that Ed and Lorraine Warren facilitated on a man that was possessed by several demons. Before I break it down, let's roll a little bit of a clip so you guys can get a sense as to how far gone this man actually was.
What other entity is inside you? God is commanding you. In the name of Jesus Christ, and all the saints, and all the martyrs, and all the angels, command you to answer that question. What is it? Abaddon. Okay, who else? Who else is within you? Answer the question.
So as you can see, Ed is standing with a cross to our man who is possessed and basically holding these spirits at bay, trying to figure out exactly who and what is inside of him. He mentions 2 names in that clip, Abatar and Maveth, 2 very inhuman and demonic names. He also isn't acting even remotely okay in this video. Clearly there's an inner battle going on between this man and the demons that are inside of him. Later in this clip, when the man was asked why these demons were inside of him, this is what he responded with.
Why are you in Roberto? Why are you there with Roberto? Jesus Christ doesn't like demonic spirits within a human spirit. Jesus Christ hates demonic spirits to be within a human being. You know that? You hate Jesus, huh?
The man clearly says that the demons are in him for power and that he hates Jesus Christ. Incredibly chilling stuff, if you ask me. Number 4 on this list is a clip from another exorcism that Ed and Lorraine were present at. In this video, we're going to see a priest performing the exorcism, and the biggest takeaway that I got from watching this recording was simply how far gone this person who is being possessed actually was. Let's roll the clip.
This is the exorcism part right here. You'll see his spittle come out of his mouth.
As we can see in that clip, my guy is drooling and he looks to be in really rough shape. Later in that clip, he looks up and you see his eyes, and there just doesn't look to be any semblance of a human being left inside of him. He looks completely gone, as if there's no soul present in his body. Apparently, he was the target of regular demonic possessions and had to employ Ed and Lorraine's help to try and get the demon out of him. I can't even imagine being so possessed to the point where I'm drooling and seemingly not in control of my thoughts. Really scary stuff. Number 3 on this list is a clip of Ed Warren talking to a poltergeist in a family home. Apparently, this family has been haunted by this ghost for quite some time and have now had to enlist the help of the Warrens to free them from its clutches. In the first clip, Ed is going to be asking the ghost to knock on the walls of the home to answer his questions.
Are you a boy?
The mother leans against the kitchen table, her hands in full view as Ed continues asking questions.
You want the people in this house to move? 1 knock for yes, 2 for no. Yes. Okay.
As you can see, the mother's hands are in full view of the camera and no one is making the knocking sound. This ghost has also revealed itself to be a young boy who wants this family to get out of his presumed home. I also think that the mother's reaction is extremely chilling and genuine when she says that they tried and they couldn't sell. The clip gets even more chilling as it goes though.
And you to reveal your identity.
Next, Ed decides to confront the poltergeist alone.
Give me some sign. Is that you moving something? Give me some sign that you're here.
As we can see in that clip, the chair clearly gets moved by an unseen force. They eventually brought in 3 exorcists to assist in getting this demon out of the house, and it seemed to work when they did it. However, Ed and Lorraine both admit that sometimes an exorcism can only work to quiet down a ghost, and that it can sometimes come back several months or even years later. Number 2 on this list are some cursed dolls. The recording that we're going to look at is of several dolls that were actually made by a witch doctor in Africa. Tony, the son-in-law, is once again in Ed and Lorraine's museum and showing us these dolls that have a deep curse on them. Let's roll a clip so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
And these other artifacts here. These are all artifacts taken from that witch doctor.
So right there are all of the dolls that were made, and in my opinion, they're all super creepy. We have shrunken heads, scary clay figurines, and Tony even says that he doesn't want to touch them because he's afraid of the potential implications that could come of that. The reason that he believes these are deeply cursed is all due to an incident that happened with a young police officer many decades ago. The officer actually had somebody go to Africa and steal these artifacts away from the witch doctor, then bring them back to America, and was intending on selling them for money. I'll let Tony tell you how that turned out for him though.
Within 2 weeks of this young police officer receiving these dolls, he became very, very ill. In fact, he was paralyzed from the neck down.
He goes on to later say that that man was paralyzed for 2 years straight until he finally died. I can't imagine being paralyzed for that long and then dying after all of that. And all because the witch doctor put a curse on these objects. After hearing that, I completely agree with Tony. I wouldn't want to be touching those things either. Number 1 on this list is a clip from the exorcism of Anneliese Michel. We've talked a little bit about Anneliese Michel before in some other videos on this channel, and her story is very tragic. She was a German woman who underwent 67 exorcisms in the span of several months. She was believed to be so heavily possessed by a demon because she got regular seizures, psychosis, and would react strangely to religious objects. She would hear voices and often make strange voices herself. Her mental health truly wasn't where it needed to be, and she was reported having extreme thoughts of taking her own life. This sad story gets even sadder though, because after 67 exorcisms had been performed on her, her body couldn't hold up anymore, and she died. This was due to serious malnutrition and dehydration. The priests that were conducting all of these exorcisms had been putting her body through the ringer, and it was just too much. Ed and Lorraine have a recording from one of the exorcisms that was performed on Anneliese at one point, and although it's hard to make out exactly what she's saying, you can hear the presence of a demon in her voice. As you can hear in the recording, the voice is yelling what sounds to be something in a demon language. I also think that the entire recording here is just incredibly unsettling, and even though I had a hard time making out exactly what she said, or was saying, it still sent shivers down my spine. Number 5 on this list is the Triangle Field Ghost. The Triangular Field is a section of the battlefield that was fought upon during the Battle of Gettysburg, a brutal fight that took place during the American Civil War that is said to have claimed the lives of over 40,000 men. To give you an indicator of how bad this battle was, a surviving soldier from the battle is famously reported saying, "Some with faces bloated and blackened beyond recognition lay with glassy eyes staring up at the blazing summer sun. Others with faces downward and clenched fists full of grass and earth, which told of the agony of their final moments. There lay a headless trunk, a severed limb or two, and they lay in grotesque, abnormal positions that contorted their human form." All of that sounds absolutely horrifying, and it's no wonder that the Triangular Field has been a spot associated with a plethora of paranormal sightings. Ed and Lorraine have a clip from several decades ago when they visited the Triangular Field and saw what they believed to be the ghosts of some Confederate soldiers. Let's run that now.
Right there. See?
Uh-huh.
Look.
There's nobody there.
So as you can see, there's definitely some movement going on in the trees, and it seems to be in the form of some white figures. This is similar to some of the other reports this place has received over the years, with others saying that they've seen Confederate soldiers dressed in white wandering the grounds. Now, I do want to point out that this definitely could be staged, but with the amount of lore surrounding this location and the way that that one soldier described the battlefield, I personally wouldn't be surprised if this spot is haunted and Ed and Lorraine stumbled upon some of the ghosts haunting it. Number 4 on this list is a recording about the Annabelle doll. The Annabelle doll is one of the most famous cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren participated in. This doll was said to have become demonically possessed and wanted to harm the owners of it. The clip that I'm about to show you is actually from Ed and Lorraine's YouTube page, posted by Tony Spera, the son-in-law of Ed and Lorraine.
Donna, the nurse that received the doll, received it from her mom on her 28th birthday. Donna was a nurse in Hartford, at Hartford Hospital, and she had a roommate that was also a nurse.
So that's the actual doll right there in the Ed and Lorraine Museum, and as Tony says, it was given as a gift. Obviously, this was a pretty horrible gift based on what it proceeds to do. In the next clip, Tony's going to detail just one of the sick and sadistic acts that this demonically possessed doll did.
He picks up the doll, he throws it across the room, and he says, "That's just a Raggedy Ann doll, can't hurt anybody." With that, 7 psychic wounds appeared on his body.
All of the stuff he details in the clip happened directly after this doll tried to strangle that same man while he was in his sleep. This doll went on to do so many other things as well, and Ed and Lorraine had to get involved to stop it. Just seeing this doll in these recordings is pretty creepy if all of the stuff that it's reportedly done is true. If I was Ed and Lorraine, rather than put that thing in my museum, it's going straight into my fireplace. Number 3 on this list is a recording from an interview. Ed and Lorraine Warren were conducting an interview on 2 young girls who were apparently possessed by a demonic presence. Now, I'm not sure how long this had been going on for, but based on the way that they are speaking in the clip and the mannerisms that they're having, I would imagine that the demonic possession had been happening for quite some time. I'm gonna roll the clip now and just pay attention to how the girl on the left is acting and the sounds that she's making.
How many voices are there?
600.
600 the voices.
I know the joke.
So as we can see here in that clip, there is very clearly a demonic sounding voice that is coming from the girl on the left. It claims that there's 600 different voices that come out of her, but then chalks that up to being a joke. When the girl on the right is asked about it, she says that she believes that there's been 10. Now we can only assume that this means that the girl on the left is currently being possessed by 10 different demons, or at least 10 different personalities and voices that have come out of her at one point. I also want to point out that the girl on the right looks almost pleased when she talks to Ed. Like there's some deep, dark secret that she's holding on to right now, or she herself is possessed by a demon as well, that is enjoying this chaotic situation that they found themselves in. I have no idea how a young girl would make sounds like that. I mean, it barely sounds human to begin with. Certainly some really creepy stuff there from Ed and Lorraine. Number 2 on this list is some raw footage from an exorcism that Ed and Lorraine performed on a Buddhist monk. This was posted on their official YouTube channel roughly a year ago, and it's pretty jarring. Let's roll the first clip.
I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you, Teresa. I'm here to help you. Please, Teresa. Please. Think of your mother, Teresa. Do you see your mother?
No, of course I know.
You see your mother. Your mother. She spoke in English, Ed.
So as we can see, the person in question is in very serious trauma and their body is squirming in unnatural directions. They seem to calm down at the mention of their mother though, so potentially that's a way to reach the human soul of this individual. As the clip continues, Lorraine attempts to further calm the person with the mention of their mother, but eventually this stops working and the demon takes hold once again.
Teresa.
The person is in full distress now, rolling all over the ground, and it seems as if their entire body is in agony. They also don't seem to be making any sense with what they're saying, just strange, unsettling noises. The clip doesn't inform us at the end if the couple were successful in their endeavor to get this person free of this demon, so sadly, we're just left with the horrible image of them demonically twitching on the ground. Number 1 on this list is from the Enfield Poltergeist. Now this story is one of the most famous Ed and Lorraine Warren tales and inspired The Conjuring based on on how terrifying it was. If you aren't familiar with this case, then it was centered around a home that had paranormal activity happening from 1977 to 1979. Furniture moving, levitation, and demonic possession, those all took place. Potentially the scariest thing to come out of it though was a recording captured of the demon speaking.
Days before I died, I went blind. Then I had an hemorrhage, and I fell asleep, and I died in a chair in the corner downstairs.
That clip is the demon speaking about how it died in this home. What's absolutely insane though is that was a young girl who was making those sounds. Now how on earth could a child make those sounds and speak that way? The only explanation is that she must have been possessed by a demonic presence. This case got national attention after that recording was released, and after hearing it for myself, it makes sense why.